Okay, more Joel Wendt here on the general theme of In Praise of the American Spirit, and more tightly in on the gift of unemployment. But anyway, in general, okay, let's give some background material to the way the world works. You know, people talk about God's plan and all the rest of that, and I don't think most of those people are actually paying attention. When they talk about God's plan, they think of how God's going to save them and screw the other guy. Well, God doesn't work that way. God's an equal opportunity screwer if you're thinking about suffering. At the same time, lots of opportunity out there. Now, what is God giving us? Well, lessons, if you want to look at it that way. And of course, a lot of this stuff comes from us, because you read my book and other stuff about the religious thing, you're going to discover that the reality is that God is distributed. God's in everything. God's in what human beings do. And the structure of it, the creation of it, makes it all work together in a way that you really have to work to understand. But I'm not going to go into that too much, because that's sort of too far afield in praise of the American spirit. But anyway, what's going on? Well, things happen. What's the bumper sticker? Shit happens. Okay, so Katrina. Let's think about Katrina. Well, some things worked and some things didn't. The main thing that didn't work was government. Government didn't build the flood control stuff up well enough. And when the thing fell apart, you know, government fled. New Orleans became an anarchy. Criminals ran around doing bad things. Law enforcement guys who are also criminals. I mean, the Big Easy has a really big reputation for having, blurred the line between criminals and good guys in their own police department. So you had anarchy, and you had nasty anarchy, and then during all of that, they shoved all of these people into this place, which worked a little bit, but there was a mistake made, I think. You know, it's kind of hard to find out exactly what went on in the dome, but I think there was a mistake made, and the mistake made was by the people there. They kept waiting to be rescued and to be saved. Now, I'm sure that not all of them did this, but the fact is when this kind of anarchy comes, when this kind of chaos comes, when you're unemployed, which is just a mild form of it, you got to work together with other people. That's the nature of the time in which we live, okay? That's the number one rule. That rule sort of goes like this. No man is an island. That would be the cliche. Basically, each of us is a spirit, We got our grit, we got our style, we got who we are, but life is lived together. What's the story? There's this story about when people get to heaven and they get, they discover they're in this place and they've got to eat, and they've got these long spoons attached to their arms that they can't get rid of. And they try to eat the food, but you can't bend the spoon to get to your own face. You can only feed each other. And that's where the division happens. The people that feed each other and cooperate, they have a better life. The people that break the spoons or beat up someone else or force them to feed them or whatever that story is, they don't have a good life. Okay? I know I got the story wrong with some people, but you get the basic idea. Think about the reality in which you live. You're unemployed, you have time for reflection. Think about it. That's a gift, to be able to think about things, and figure out which group of people you want to be a part of. I mean, maybe you're already part of a group of people. Maybe you got a really tight church community, And I don't think so much that maybe it's there for the religion. It's probably there for the community part. It's good that you share some religious ideas, and it's probably not good if some of those religious ideas is there's a guy over there is bad and a sinner. You really want to, read what Christ had to say about it, whether you're a Christian or not, whatever kind of church. You want to read what Christ had to say about it. He said that judge not, lest ye be judged, Think about the beam in your own eye. Not the mote in the other guys. Anyway, so you're unemployed. You got some free time. Reflect on your life. Reflect on life in general. Use your thinking. and find a community of support, mutual support. The best thing we can do in times of crisis, is be together, have some tea, comfort each other, sing some songs, On the Facebook the other day, some people that I'm part of a Facebook with, they were lamenting about what goes on in Louisiana right now in the Gulf. First they got Katrina, and then they got Rita, and now they're getting BP'd, and government can't do anything because it doesn't know what's up. And if you watch CNN after a while, and you actually, and sometimes on the regular news, and if they do an interview with the local people, once in a while you'll hear the local people talk about how they're dealing with it. And they're dealing with it, okay? They're not folding. They're not going off. They're going to work. That's American spirit, Dig in your heels, go to work. Even if you're unemployed, go to work. Find something to do. Give yourself the satisfaction, Oh, gosh, I'm an aerospace engineer. I can't work at McDonald's. Well, I tell you, one of the things that saved me during my periods of unemployment was the fact that I started finding out how to work in a restaurant, and I eventually got taught how to be a short order cook. I started out washing dishes, and I had a law degree, and I'd worked as a clerk on the Montana Supreme Court. Give yourself the satisfaction of finding something to do while you're waiting for God to come along and give you your big money job back. It's not going to happen, okay? Why? Well, as a social philosopher, I can say this, and it's a little thinky, but it'll do. Western civilization is dying. It's been dying for quite a while. Most of the things that are the basic thoughts and ideas about it have fallen out. They don't work anymore. They're too old. The law is just awful. It's old, ancient, creaky, and doesn't get anything done anymore. And politics is worse. And businesses are all about themselves. And the law lets them. The law says, shareholder values are more important than whether or not the business screws the environment, screws the employee, and screws the consumer. That's what the law lets happen. Plus, recently, they get to spend more money than God on politics and elect all the kinds of crazy people that they want there, and that's no good for anybody, So what's happening? Well, the world is going through throes of huge change. It's going through, at a big fundamental level, the metamorphosis of one civilization into another civilization. In the work I do, it's called dying into becoming. The old story is about the phoenix that rises from the ashes. The house has to burn down first before the good part happens. Well, in the midst of the burning down, you don't have to run around waving your hands. The sky is falling, oh, me, oh, my. Get together with some other people, and you reflect on things, and maybe you read some books. Lots of good things to read out there. It wouldn't hurt if people who were unemployed got in politics. Seriously got in politics. Run for local offices, run for Congress. Read Thomas Paine's Common Sense. Read Richard Kotlar's on economics. Educate yourself while you got this time for reflection and you're not working like a nut job for 100 hours a week. I'm coming back. I'm not done yet.